Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome to my live. If you're new here, I'm Teresa. If you already been here, let's go. As y'all all know, I love Married at First Sight. Okay, I've watched every season just about. I think I missed a few when it first started, but now, baby, this is my show. And now I decided to get on here and just talk about it. And that's why I did it in a live instead of an upload. So if you're watching the replay, I would still like your input on this episode, even anything that happened in the season thus far, because I'm just going to give my opinions and I want to see what's y'all opinion. Now, decision day was last night, okay? It was last night. It has been anticipation and all the drama. Here goes all the characters here, all the people in the show. I have to say on decision day, there were some surprises for me. Um, like I was rooting for some of them, and some of them I just didn't want to work out, and it is what it is. You know what I mean? So we're gonna talk about it. So if you're not subscribed to me, do me a favor, please do so. I left my link right there in the comment section. You can hit that link, leave me a comment. That way I can return the love. But don't forget to subscribe. Hit the bell, give me a thumbs up, and let me know what you think about Married at First Sight Decision Day, my show. Whoop, whoop. All right, this is a live, so I'm going to go on and check the chat. And I hope if you're watching the replay, you go ahead and leave me comments. Hey, She Reviews. What's up, sis? How are you? How are you, girl? I hope you know about this show, because this is my show. What you up? Okay, thank you. Thank you. Marlene, oh my goodness, girl. I tell you though, I have been watching Married at First Sight from, oh, going way back. It might have been season 2 or 3. So every season is so different, but this one I think has got to be the most explosive. And I don't think it's solely because of the douchebag right here. Because he's the douchebag of the show, and he brought a lot of excitement. I get it, but I was invested in all the other couples as well. So I think everybody was interested in their own way. Want to talk about it? Here we go. So hopefully I can get some people in here who watch this show. If you're watching it and you don't know the show, you might want to check it out. It is on what is it on? Is it Lifetime? Let me check. Let me check. What's up, Marlene? How are you? Oh, how you doing? How you been? What you been up to? I'm just trying to remember. I drew a blank on what channel this come. Oh, Lifetime. Yes, yes, yes. Lifetime Wednesdays at 8 o'clock. Lifetime Wednesdays at 8 o'clock. That's when this show comes on. Every Wednesday. But this season just ended. Oh, good, Marlene. Good, good, good to hear. Do you know this show? Do you know Married at First Sight Decision Day? Hey, James. What's up, James? Guy, how are you? Thank you for popping in. Thank you, thank you. If you guys can share me, that would be great. I'm only going to be on like an hour or less. I just, I'm a Married at First Sight junkie. I love this show. So I thought I'd get on here, talk about it. And even if people come in who don't know the show, people watching the playback can also give me their feedback. So, I'm super excited about it. I don't know. There is, oh, you never watched Marlene. Okay, okay. I think this is my second or third review. Like I didn't do every time they had an episode. I didn't do that. I just came on once in a while and talked about it when I was ready. Hey, Leo, what's up? How you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? What's up, boo? What's up? Leo, what you guys doing? Do you guys watch this or you don't watch this either? Because I don't want y'all to think when I'm talking that I'm ignoring you. I'm not. But people in the playback who watch this, I also, when I do stuff like this, I also like to talk so that people who's watching the replay can leave me their comments as well. So every now and then you will see me talking without really reading the chat, and then I'll come back to the chat and we'll continue talking about it. But this is my show, honey, and this has got to be the most explosive season ever so far on Married at First Sight. Now, I know they put a lot of that to him. This guy, he's a real douchebag. And she, to me, is just, I like to call her And I know people are not going to agree with me on this about this show because people who watch it are very invested. I like to call Paige's, his name is Chris, his wife's name is Paige. I like to call Paige the Great Pretender. That's what I call Paige, the Great Pretender. Never seen it either. Okay, thank you, thank you. Hello, Tinto. What's up with you? What's up with you? Thank you for coming in, Tinto. Thank you for coming in. So, anyways, this show, let me give a little recap on the show. This last night was decision day. So the show this season has ended with this is the most explosive show that there was so far for all the seasons. There is 5 couples. They come on the show because they can't find love. They're tired of the dating scene. They said they're meeting guys or girls. So it's guys and girls that come on. They're saying they can't find their perfect match. Everybody's full of crap. They don't like the people they're meeting in the real world. And they came on here because they just wanted to try to let the professionals match them up. So when they get on this show, they're in separate rooms. The guys are separate from the girls. They never see each other until literally the day that the show sets them up to marry the person that the show has matched them with. There is 3 professionals, like counselors, who do all the matching. They get everything all set up, and they're the ones that put you together, but you don't see each other until the day of your marriage. So they show all of that. They show the different personalities. They show people in their different personal lives. They show the guys all talking, the girls all talking. And then it all is a buildup to the day that they get married. So when it says married at first sight, that is literally what they're doing. They are not seeing each other at all until they go down that aisle in their wedding gown, just like Paige has on right here. And Hailey has it on too. I keep getting mixed. Hailey is this one. You see, they're all dressed up. That's the first day that they met each other. The very first day. So, hello, my friend. Hello, Tinto. La Fortuna. How are you? Thank you for coming in. Thank you. Thank you. Can everybody please give a thumbs up? I see 5 people and only 3 thumbs up. Please give me a thumbs up. So that's the excitement of the show. The excitement straight from the gate, before we even get into any of the drama, is they are matched by professional matchmakers. They do not see each other to the day that it's time to walk down the aisle and meet the person that you are marrying. And it is a legit marriage. Then you got 2 months before you do the final part of your marriage, or you can get to the decision day, which was what this was yesterday. So you got 2 months to get to decision day. So at decision day, you can say, I do not want to get married to this. I do not want to stay married. Or you can say, I want to stay married. So once they meet, they got 2 months to live together, start acting like a married couple, trying to figure each other out, trying to decide if it's somebody you really want to be with. So you got 2 months to do that. So everything happens pretty fast. It's crazy, but there's so much going on with these 5 couples that y'all would not believe, honey. Mm-mm. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So yes, there is 5 couples. There is Hailey and Jacob, Paige and Chris, Virginia and Eric, Brianna and Vincent, and Clara and Ryan. And they all have different types of issues once they went down the aisle and saw each other in the beginning. So you either look at each other and go, oh, he or she is not my type. Or you look at each other and go, oh, she's a hottie, I like her. So there's so many dynamics to the show that is absolutely crazy. Now, I could have did this in an upload, but I didn't want to. I wanted to go live in hopes that somebody would come in who's seen the show. But in case that doesn't work out, that's okay. We're going to talk about it anyways, and then I'll just end the live earlier. Okay? Leo, what you up to? Let me see. Hey, Jessica. How are you? How are you? Jessica, have you seen Married at First Sight season 12 at all, or you never seen it? Hey, hey, hey. Let me know. Let me know. Maybe next time I'll do it in a maybe next time I'll do it in an upload. That way, it won't matter. It just be people watching it who knows about the show. So all of that happens before decision day. They got 2 months to start to get to know each other. Because you can look at each other and just the physical be like, oh, I like him, or oh, I like her. And we got a lot of that. Now, as we all know, Chris, the one right here that makes the biggest headlines in this show, first thing he said when he seen Paige, who appeared to be a really sweet, beautiful black girl, he said she is not his type. He said she is not his type. He don't typically date people that look like her. He had all of this to say now, and that was like on the day they met. Now, most of the time in the show, people do not say that. But Chris is such an asshole that he said it from the gate, which I think is what catapulted this episode, this season, into being bigger than all the other seasons that they had, Snippets. Oh, it's a mess. It is a mess. Jessica, he's more than just weird. He is just a complete asshole. Let's just keep it real. He is a jerk. I feel like with Chris, because now we're on decision day, so the whole season is over. I feel like with Chris, I watched him. Yeah, he's an asshole, but I also see, to me, I felt like he came on with a very deliberate purpose. It wasn't about Paige or the person he met. I think he wanted to build his social media. I think he wanted to be the bad guy, but he did it all in the expense of hurting the girl that he met because it wasn't even about her. So he dogged her out the whole time, basically the whole time, except for he dogged her out the whole time. But on day one of meeting each other, of getting married, they all go back to their hotel rooms. He's the first one to jump into bed with her. So he slept with her on the first night. He didn't tell her that she's not his type. You know what I mean? So he's just an asshole to the next level, basically. Hi, Andrew. Oh, cool, cool, cool. Hey, Alvin, how are you? Yeah, Leo, when I tell you, season 12, I've watched all the seasons, but season 12 is the biggest mess. Now, you are legally married. So some people look at that like, I don't care if I just met him today. That's my husband. If he wants to sleep together on the first night of our honeymoon, then I'm going to do it. Personally, I would have never done that. No, no, baby. You got to let me see what kind of crazy you are before you get the cookie, honey. We're not talking about the cookie until after the 2 months, okay? But I understand some of them, they're just like, nope, I don't care. I'm going to jump right into bed with him. We're going to kick this thing off. Because a few of them had a genuine connection. You know what I mean? But like, and he was one of those who jumped into bed with his wife right away. But she didn't hear him say that she's not his type. He's not attracted to her. She's bigger than what he likes. She's darker than what he likes. Oh, he had a lot to say on the first day, but she didn't hear it. He said it in the confessionals. You know what I mean? So she doesn't even know that she's walking into a nightmare. A nightmare. I've reviewed this about this is decision day, so this was last night. But I reviewed it about episode number 5 or 6, somewhere in there. So now we're at the end. You know what I mean? So it's just crazy. Sounds like a trash. Yes, he is, Jessica. He's more than just trash, though. He's more than that. I can't even imagine. Exactly. Yeah. No goodies until you know something about him, right? Women also have intuition and surprise that didn't kick in for her. Exactly, Jessica. Exactly. Hey, Lily's Crochet. How are you? Thank you. Okay, you can say hi. How are you? Jessica, and the thing about it is, and if anybody wants to come up here and talk to me face to face, you can. I don't have a problem with that. I know typing is a pain in the butt. So, well, at least it is for me. I'm not a texter, typer into the chats and all that. I'd rather just talk, but that's just me, you know. Thank you, Leo, for telling everybody welcome in. So before I even get into him, because there's a whole lot of couples, as you can see, here's all the other couples here. You know, the right in the front right there, that's Ryan, and that's his wife, Clara. Over here, Over here, if you can see her right there, that black chick right there, that is Brianna. And that's her man right behind her, Vincent. So there's a lot of different couples in here who met on that same day. None of the guys were in the confessional on day one going, she's not the look I want. She's too big. She's too dark. She's too only the a-hole Chris did that. Now, if anybody who's seen this, who's watching the playback and actually watched the series, you have to think about when we first met Paige. She came off as very, very innocent, very faith based, very religious. You remember that. All her whole time she's been like, God said that we need to be together. God said this. Even though he was dogging her, she still kept saying, I can't give up on my marriage. She took the marriage and the vows very seriously. So everybody felt bad for her, especially on day one when he's telling her she's too big, she's too dark, she's not pretty enough. Everybody felt bad for her because he was saying that behind her back. So he came in the gate as an asshole. But all these other couples, they were all excited. Everybody goes on their honeymoon basically on day one. Let me see who came in. Oh, I'm doing good, Lily. I'm doing really well. I can't complain. Hey, Winston. Thanks for coming in. House of X, Winston and Leo. What's up? What's up? What's up? I'm talking about today is about me talking about Married at First Sight Decision Day, which was last night on Lifetime, 8 p.m. It was so, so good, y'all. This is season 12. There has been plenty of other seasons of Married at First Sight that I absolutely love, but this one took the cake because they all had drama. So once they all met each other on at the wedding, that's when they first meet. They don't see each other until they are literally standing in front of the pastor getting married. Then they go into the back, they start talking, trying to get to know each other, figuring out each other's name, blah, blah, blah. And then the show sends them off to the hotel so they can begin their honeymoon. So everything happens quick. And from the day they go on their honeymoon, they got 8 weeks, so 2 months to decide if they're going to stay in the marriage or if they're going to get out of the marriage. Now, some of the couples, I was watching them, like I was rooting for right here. This is what is her name? Hailey and Jacob is her husband. Jacob is a guy who's very, what's a good word for Jacob? Monotone. Hello, how are you? Nice to meet you. Oh, you're very pretty. Yes, I do like all 80. He was stuck in the 80s and the 90s, so he had a whole room that's retro. He's very flat. Jacob is the type, if you smacked him in his face, you wouldn't get, you would probably get, why did you do that? Why did you do that? He's very flat, monotone. He doesn't really exude fun. Let me just say that. He doesn't exude fun. Uh-oh. What happened? Message retracted. Did I miss something? And then Hailey, I thought she was a pleasant enough girl. I could see that she had walls up and barriers up. You know what I mean? Now that's Hailey. Oh, not there, right there. That's Hailey, and that's Jacob. That's with her. And I thought they might be a cute match, even though he's kind of monotone. She seemed to be a little bit what is the word? A little bit fake friendly to me. You know what I mean? And then of course we all know Paige and Chris, these two, because Chris is just the biggest asshole on the show. And then you have the people on this side. I always get the sides messed up. Then you have the people on this side that are all in it. Now, I felt like on day one, some of them ran and they got right into the bed and they started having sex because they look at it like they're married and they're so excited. You know what I mean? Chris being one of them. But a couple of days go by, Paige is all excited. Chris, remember, this is the troublemaker right here. This couple right here is the couple that had the most controversy, you know? Yeah, it was crazy. So a couple of days into it, they bring Chris's parents, which is the couple that I was talking about, the couple that everybody's talking about right here. This is Chris. They bring his dad, who I can tell he gets a lot of his personality from his father, to be quite honest. I can't even talk. To be quite honest, because the dad had that cocky, I know everything. He had that I think I'm a player, you know, kind of like his son, because Chris here is very successful. He rides around in Mercedes Benz. He got a good job. He thinks he's cute. He wears all designer clothes. So that's just a little feedback on the personality of Chris. Paige comes on as, ooh, ooh, Molly McButter. I'm all about church. I'm all faith based. I just want to make my marriage work because I'm innocent. That's how Paige comes on. And she did that pretty much the whole time. But what I need people to remember who actually watched the show, I personally never really, I don't feel like Paige was a bad person, but I also feel like Paige wasn't being real. Paige, kind of like him to me, and I know a lot of people would disagree, but Paige to me was putting on an innocent act for the camera, just like he was putting on a bad boy act for the camera. He was doing stuff that was just horrific that nobody would do to anybody in real life. And he ain't that damn cute to be trying to do that to anybody. So I just felt like they were both being extremely fake. He did it throughout the show. She played Molly McButter throughout the show. I just never bought it because if you remember in episode one, I think it was episode 1 or 2 when she met the other girls. If y'all remember, they were talking about going out and partying. Now, Molly McButter, my preacher's daughter, that's what she played through this whole thing. And I think people forgot that when the girls were drinking and having and was partying, she was the main one twerking. Boop boop, she was making that ass clap, make that ass clap. You know, how the preacher's daughter making that ass clap. Uh, but the rest of the show, she was like, I'm just so God faith. I didn't forget the clap, 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 clap. I didn't forget. So that told me there was some fakeness going on. Okay? Fake. And I think he's fake. Chris is fake because who is going to really just be that nasty for no reason unless you're trying to get up your Instagram followers, unless you're trying to get up your YouTube followers and just want attention. I feel like they both just wanted attention in their own right. You know what I mean? Uh uh. Thank you for the thumbs up. Everybody coming in, please give me a thumbs up. Not fast says yes. Yes, Lil. Yes. But so that's why I never really throughout the show, as much as she was acting so innocent, I just could not buy into Paige's innocence. The way she bent that thing over and made it clap, girl, you not that innocent, you not that churchy, you not that faith-based. Be who you really are, which meant they were probably perfect for each other because he was fake. He was trying to be over the top nasty, and she was fake because she trying to be over the top an angel. They are both fakers. And anybody watching the playback who's seen this and you want to debate that, leave it in the comments. Okay. Now, as far as um Hailey and Jacob. That's this couple right here, over there. Hailey and Jacob. Let me tell you a little bit about them. Like I said, he's very flat. She's quiet too, but she seems to want a person that's more outgoing. You can tell she has walls up. She has trust issues. You can tell you can tell Jacob has trust issues as well. So she's trying to pull out of him to do more exciting stuff. Don't just walk around monotone. She wanted him to come into the 2020, 2021 and stop dressing like he's in the 80s. He has rooms and memorabilia from the 80s. He has all kinds of stuff that he likes from the 80s. I personally, that wouldn't have bothered me because some people like collecting, I don't know, Cabbage Patch dolls. Some people like collecting Wii games. You know, whatever your passion is or whatever you like to collect, I think you should be able to do that. So he likes stuff, memorabilia from the 80s. What does it matter to her? He got his own house. He has a big house. He has it all set up the way he likes. All she has to do is come in and put her little taste on it. They argued from the beginning to decision day, which was last night. You know what I'm saying? Now we have another couple. That is Clara and Ryan, which is right here. That's Clara, and that's her husband Ryan, right here, right there. That's another couple that I thought, okay, you know, yes, plus like Please do. Please do. And I thought with Clara and Ryan, I was like, okay, they're cute. They look good together. Now, after a few days, Clara is very sexual. She was ready. She thought, we're married. We're going to have sex. We're going to do this. We're going to do that because we're legally married. No, no, no. Throughout the season, throughout the whole entire season, Ryan, which is her husband right here, was not touching her, was not having sex, was not even showing her any type of intimacy besides a kiss, like you kiss your sister or your brother. Okay. So this is just little recaps of all of the couples before I talk about last night's final episode and if they decided to stay or not. So Ryan wouldn't touch her. Now, in the first few weeks, um, Clara was like, "Okay, I understand he doesn't want to have sex. It's okay, I can wait." She kept talking about how any relationship she was ever in, it was very sexual. She said, "I am not used to being with a man and he don't desire me. I'm a beautiful woman. I have a beautiful body. I've never been in a relationship with a guy who won't touch me." She said, especially if you're in a marriage and he doesn't touch you. So she wasn't feeling the no, I don't want to have sex right now. I got to have a connection before I have sex that Ryan kept bringing to the table. Ryan, it's usually the other way around, but not in this case. It was Ryan saying, no, no, no. Right, Leo. But that's the thing that's crazy. She was like, now say they got 8 weeks to get to know each other. So we're on week 3 and he still hasn't touched her. Now they're getting to know each other in all other ways. They meet up with the other couples, they go have drinks, they sleep in the same bed, they spoon. Okay, y'all know the good old fashioned spoon, honey. They spoon, they do all of that, but he does not touch her. So whenever the counselors come, they try to give them like sexy scenarios. They had it where she was butterfly straddling him and he was just there hugging her, but he still didn't take her home and do nothing. She's not used to that. So we're going on week 4 and he still ain't touch her. She's starting to have a complete meltdown, like, I don't know what to do. Blah, blah, blah. I love my husband, but he doesn't desire me. She was taking it all personal. He just kept saying, it takes me a long time to love, and I'm not going to just have sex to be having sex. She's like, I don't want to have sex. I want to make love to my husband. And he was like, nope, not going to do it. So even the professionals could not get him to loosen up, which I found interesting because it's usually the woman holding back from the man. It's not normally typically the man holding back for the woman. I found that to be very interesting. You know, I think that Leo crazy. I think that I find it interesting. And she kept becoming more and more angry about it. Now, we're going into week 5. Week 6, we're almost at freaking decision day, and he's still not touching her. She's thinking by then that he would have just been like, okay, let's go for it, and they just do it. But he just was not doing that, you know? Right, right, Jessica. I mean, because if women could say no and say, I'm going to wait, I feel like men can do that too. So I wasn't mad at him. He didn't know her because, like I had said, if I got on there, nobody's touching me and I don't know you. I don't care if we are legally married. So I understood where he was coming with it. Is it a little odd for a man to have a woman throwing theirself on him and they don't touch him? It's a little odd, but it's not. It's not. It happens. It happens. He doesn't have to. Just like women have their right to not want to do it, so do men. You know what I mean? Good. Leo, yes, honey. Listen, she wasn't comprehending at all that he just wants to wait until it's right. She did not care. She said every relationship she has been in, it's been all about sex. She's very sexual. Every person she's been with, it's all about sex. They barely talk. They just have sex. So for her, this was like, what are we doing right now? You know what I mean? What are we doing? Like, oh my God. It should go both ways for a woman and a man. Right, right, right. Now, before I talk about another couple, I want to say one more thing about Clara and Ryan. Sorry, I'm pointing the wrong way about Clara and Ryan and the whole sexual issue. They got along and everything was great. But what we found out a little further into the weeks with their sexual issue is is she let it slip. Yes, no means no, but she wasn't trying to have that no, honey. She would tell him okay. She was like, okay, I understand, but then she'd cry to the other girls in the group. So it was really, really affecting her. But the thing that I found interesting about him and his whole no religion, he wasn't talking about religion so much. It was just he did not want to have sex. He did not want to base this marriage on sex and not getting to know each other. So no matter how hard that was for her, she had to eat it because he was not going to do it. Now, the thing I find interesting about that, and this happened a few weeks ago, because last night it was the final episode, is when she was talking to the girls in the group, the other girls in the group, one thing she said it kind of low, but I heard her. She said that she's the only thing that they do is he lets her do fellatio. What? What you mean you can do fellatio? So she's good enough to take care of you in a non way, but you can't touch her. That's not fair. That's not right. And I think she's crazy. She should have never done that. Never, never, never. Can y'all believe that? What do you think about that? He been fighting you off. Nope, 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 nope. But you can fellatio? You can do that? Come on, y'all. Come on. You know that's wrong. You know that's wrong. Okay, so what do y'all think about that? I know y'all didn't see it, but you're following me. What do you think about him letting her do that? I think a few things about that. She was that desperate that she would take that over nothing. Okay, well, I can't get it all the way. Let me just go ahead and do that. I find that to be very desperate. She was desperate, and so she took what she could get. I'm just blown away by that. I'm blown away. Leo, come on, come on. Whoosh. Oh, okay. Oh my God, you crazy. Um, so what woman? I don't understand these women, just like I didn't understand I don't understand Paige staying with the very guy who had sex with her on the first night, but then kept telling everybody he's not attracted to her. And all the stuff that he did to her along the way. I don't know about if y'all know all the stuff that Chris did all through the weeks. It wasn't just the sex thing and then said he don't like her. It wasn't that. This boy did stuff after stuff after stuff. He kept walking away. He wouldn't stay in the house with her. He kept telling her he was in love with his ex. And I'm talking about this couple right here, which is why he's the biggest controversy on the show. He kept telling her he still loves his ex, so he would keep leaving the show. He kept saying he didn't want her, but he would still have sex with her. She kept saying, "I'll just stay and wait for him. He's going to come back." Bloop bloop bloop. He came back again and told her that his ex-girlfriend was pregnant. Basically, and it happened. He knew it happened during the season of the show. And she still was, well, God put us together. God put us together. That's these two I'm talking about. I kind of bounced a little bit, but anyways, let me go back to Clara and Ryan, which is these two. You know what I'm saying? Oh well, he's just not attracted to her. Okay, he's just not like Chris to say it openly. I think. Yeah, yeah, Leo, yeah, that could be true. He's like Jessica said. He's just not as open as Chris is. He didn't want to tell her. Yes, he didn't want to tell her. Leo said he's training his wife to do what he wants. Yeah. But my thing is, what kind of dummy? I raised the dummy. What kind of dummy is she to be letting to do it? Why would you ever do that? And he's not doing anything for you at all. You are that desperate. You are that sexual that that's what you want. I got to get one of these people, any one of them, on the show, on my Sipping and Small Talk. I am working on that because I need to talk to them. Okay. So, so we did find out they had that much going on, but that was it. He still did not touch her. Their relationship, other than that, was okay, was just okay. And the same thing with this one right here. These two right here, Jacob and Hailey. They argued a lot. They tried to have pockets of fun. There was no connection. She was sleeping in a whole nother bedroom. She wouldn't touch Jacob at all. And so their connection just wasn't there either, but they were trying. She kept saying how much she loves her husband and she's going to keep trying. So the limited amount of connection that they did have as far as intimacy, she took that over nothing. Okay, now that is three of the couples that we talked about. There's only two more, and then I'm going to talk about decision day and what happened. So anybody who's watching the replay and you didn't see decision day and it is your show, you might not want to watch this because there is spoilers. Watch it after you watch it on TV. you know what? Wait, what? Which part, Leo? Which part? Which part? Wait, what? Which part? Which part? Hold on. Let me see something. Let me drop my little link in case y'all want to come up so I can tell you. Invite. All right, hold on. Copy. All right, there's my link in case y'all want to come up and just talk and just say what you want to say. It's so much easier. But anyway, so okay, so we talked about those three. We talked about these two. We talked about Chris and her. I'm coming back to them though. Decision day, I'm coming back to all these couples. Now, the last two couples I want to talk about before I get into decision day is now I'm gonna see if I can point them out. Right here, you see this girl right there? Her name is Virginia, and her husband's name is Eric, and he's right here. Eric's right there. Not him, right here. That's Eric. So we're going to talk about Virginia. This is the young girl. She's like 24 years old. This is Eric. He's like 39, 40. Okay? So them two were matched by the matchmakers. All right? Oh, Jessica, you eating? Okay. That's okay. I wanted to put it up there. Yeah, what about the white couple, Leo? What about them? So with Virginia and Eric, she's 23, he's probably 43, something like that. There's a big age difference. She is a party girl. She is a young girl. She likes to party. Let me see if I can make sure y'all can see her. She's right there with her head bent back. Right there. That's her. That's Virginia. And her husband is over there, right there. All right. All right. Let me see. Oh, that's okay, Jessica. You can come up behind the avatar, girl. That way you don't have to type. You know what I mean? So now moving on to Virginia and Eric. With their age difference, there's also immaturity in between them two. They connected really well. They were one of the couples that I think slept together on the first night. They were all over each other. She's a party girl. She drinks until she literally passes out. She drinks until she passes out. Right, I know exactly, exactly, Jessica. That's what made this season very interesting. So she drinks until she's a party girl. She had a lot of guy friends. She's 20 years his junior. She likes to have drinks and cocktails. She drinks until she gets basically out of character. He's very successful. He's actually a pilot, and all his family members, all his brothers, his father, everybody's in pilot. So he is a well-established man. He got his own, and he's very independent. He's tired of being single. He's had relationships that didn't work out, and so he came on Married at First Sight to try to make it better. You know, which we understand. Let me see. Yeah, Leo. She's a hot mess. She's young. When you're young, when you're in your 20s, it's all about partying. I party like a rock star in my 20s. I just never drank and passed out. You know what I mean? But, you know. So but their connection and their chemistry was really explosive from the beginning. So as soon as they met each other for marriage and they got back to the hotel, they got busy. They were having drinks, they were having a good time. You know what I mean? Hey, Jaden, what's up? So so they're talking about stuff and she's telling them how much she loves her dogs, how much she likes partying. She has a lot of friends that are males and females that she will never give up. She told him this from the very beginning, how important her male friends are, just as important as her female friends. She told him that her social life is so much fun. She doesn't want to give that up. She wants to go out and have drinks. She wants to go party. She has a dog that she loves more than any person in her life. So she told him all these things when they were at the hotel room because now they're getting to know each other because they're married. So he's listening to it all. Remember, he's a 40-something-year-old successful Army pilot. So he has his own plane. He actually owns his own small plane. So he's listening and he's saying, okay, it's only like week one. So he's like, okay, that's okay. I don't mind if you have some drinks and you see your friends. He said, now I must say, I hope that it starts kicking into you that you are married. So please realize that things are changing. You're married now. So hanging with your friends that are males may be a problem. So right from the beginning, the first week, they were already talking about that. They were already starting to see things different in that way. And she was like, well, I won't be controlled. My friends are my best friends. I'm not dating them. I'm not whatever. I want to be around my friends, even if it is a guy, and you can't tell me anything different. Now, everybody knows marriage is compromise, right? Except for a 24, 25-year-old girl. That's what he gets for trying to date 20 years younger. Get somebody your own damn age. You know what I mean? Yeah, she puts the dog before people, believe me. Yeah, around the way, girl, okay? So I'm like, everybody knows when you get married, there's some kind of compromise. No, you don't have to cut off all your friends. But yes, if they're the opposite sex, you do need to start putting some distance in. You do. I mean, it's just a fact because if you're the woman, do you want your man hanging with a bunch of women, even if it is his friend? How do you know they didn't date? How do you know that wasn't his first crush and his first kiss? If you don't want problems in your marriage, it's best to wean out the opposite sex and just try to be around other couples or guys or girls. Try not to bring in extra people. Look at Portia and Fallon. We don't want that, okay? And that's what happens, okay? So they're already in week one arguing about that, but their relationship was still good. They're still very intimate, very passionate. They kiss all the time when they're out with their friends, with the group. They go out to dinner, they go dancing, they do everything. It's just that their biggest issue is she's feeling, now you're getting into week 4, week 5, week 6, she's feeling very smothered because he's still giving her a hard time about being around her guy friends. Come to find out, some of those guy friends, she did date them. But she's like, so what? It doesn't matter. We're friends. We're friends. No, girl, it don't work like that. And so he kept saying, if you don't want to cut off the male friends in your life, then just leave the marriage. He kept telling her that. Throughout this whole thing, that was their biggest fight. You know what I mean? Besides him saying, I wish you would show me the same love that you showing that dog. Okay. Right, Jessica. There you go. Oh yeah, she's definitely. There's one thing being a party girl. That's a whole nother level when you a drunk party girl, because that means you do stuff that you ain't got no business doing. You know what I mean? So I don't know. So he stood strong too. You cannot be around these men, and she stood strong all these weeks. All these weeks, she stood strong, and you won't be controlling me. I'm gonna do what I want. I am grown. I got my own apartment. If you want me to leave, I'll leave. We don't have to be in here living. They were living together in his house. All the couples moved in together because they needed to make sure they felt like a real marriage. They needed to start acting like a married couple. So they were having married people's fights. So that was their biggest issue throughout this whole entire season. And I will let y'all know how that went on decision day last night. So that's what's going on with Virginia and Eric. And I already talked about Ryan and Clara, and I talked about Chris and Paige and Jacob and what's her name? Wait a minute, Jacob and Hailey. So I already talked about them in just a casual way. I'm going to tell you what happened with all of them on decision day. I got one more couple to tell y'all about. All right. Skill Leo is a mess. Just look at the news. Oh, I know. You can straight up run over a human being and you won't get one tear in the crowd. Let you run over a dog and see if the whole entire city don't be bawling. Girl. It's a listen. I love animals too. Like if I had a dog, I don't want nothing happening to it. But I'm gonna protect my kids first. You know what I mean? Like people are straight up crazy for real. But they love them animals, and I ain't mad at it. They love them animals, and people do treat their animals like their children. Now, if you're a person who don't got kids and you got a cat or a dog or whatever, and your attachment to that thing is just like you have a kid, I get it. I get it. These animals are help. They really help people get through life, I think. So anyway, so that's those four couples. The last couple I want to talk to y'all about, and then we'll talk about decision day, is right over here. See him? Right there. This guy's name is Vincent, and his wife is, where is she? Where's Vincent's wife? Oh, there she is, right there in the corner, right here. That's Vincent and Brianna. So this black girl right here, her name is Brianna. Not there, right there. And her husband right here, Vincent. So when they first met, they really liked the way each other look. She's a beautiful black girl. He's a beautiful, handsome, tall, Hispanic male, keeps a nice bald head, clean cut beard. She's actually an engineer. So she's a very smart college girl. She is an engineer. You know how hard it is for a black person to be an engineer? You got to be real smart. So she's a very successful girl. So she really doesn't need anything from him. She is looking for a companion. She wants to be married. You know what I mean? And he is bye Leela. Thank you for coming in. Thank you, thank you. And so I love that about let me see, where are we? I love that about Brianna. I think that that's a really nice thing about Brianna, but she's always had problems finding the right guy. He's a car salesman, I believe, and I think he's an aspiring like rapper or something, but he does have a job. Not as good as her job, but he does have a job nonetheless. They connected right away. They thought that each other was just beautiful. Their chemistry was good. Actually, pretty consistent through the show. Out of all the couples, I felt like they had the biggest connection. Now, did they have issues? Yes. Brianna's issue is here. She's used to being in control. Vincent, on the other hand, can't stand to be told what to do and is very, very extremely sensitive about it, to the point where he'll storm off every single time. So when she says some slick stuff, Vincent's out the door. He's gone. He don't like it. He shuts down. It's a whole situation. Like she has to literally watch what she says because he will not be dominated and he will not be controlled. But he's also extremely sensitive with it. Some of the things I thought he was just being kind of like a he bitch. You gotta relax, bro. Most guys don't even be caring that deep, and you lucky if they hear you. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't understand why he was so sensitive about everything, right? So I was like, why is he acting like a he bitch? Like, boy, it ain't that deep. But also, I understand him not wanting to be controlled. The man should definitely be trying to put his foot down in the household, because you let a woman run all over you, she'll run all over you and then have her kids run all over you and the dog and the cat. So you got to establish some boundaries in your house where you don't come off as the he bitch. So I understand him putting his foot down. You know what I'm saying? I get it. But I felt like at some point he was getting too soft with it. You gotta relax a little bit. She didn't mean anything by it. Every little thing can't be, don't tell me what to do. Whoop, 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 de whoop, de whoop, de whoop. He was always having like a meltdown to me. I was like, what is happening? I thought he was just alpha male. Where's my alpha male going? But overall, besides that, oh, another big issue that they had is, um, who's that? Shayla, yes, he bitch. Ooh, hi Shayla, welcome in, welcome in. I don't think I've seen you before. My link to subscribe to me is pinned in the chat. Please leave me a comment on that 40-second video so I can find you and support your channel as well. Thank you for coming in. Please give me a thumbs up. I would really appreciate that. But I couldn't think of no other word but he bitch. Yes, a he bitch Leo. Yes. So, but so they argued about that a lot. Like, she wanted him to come out of his comfort zone because he lives his life very much in a box, where she's more of a person who wants adventure and excitement in the marriage. She wants to travel. She wants to do things that they haven't done. And she wants to bring a whole nother aspect to this brand new marriage that they got going on. She finally got a guy that she can see potential with. She's married to him. She wants to make the best out of it. So she said, let's go horseback riding. She set up this whole thing to go horseback riding. But of course, he doesn't want to do anything that's going to make him look embarrassed. That's another thing with him, because he's very sensitive. So he was like, I'm not getting on no horse. I don't do horses. I'm not getting on no horse. But you like 6'5". What we scared of again? You know what I'm saying? So she was looking at him like, that's the look, y'all. You know what I'm saying? She was looking at him like, what we doing? She said, you can just give it a try. The trainer is here. I'm here on the horse. They're going to walk the horse. You literally just got to put your 6-foot ass on the horse. Like, it ain't that deep. But I told y'all, he real sensitive. Real sensitive, you know. So he was like, no, 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 I'm not. And they spent a good 20, 25 minutes convincing him to finally get on the horse. Like, boy, get on the horse. So he was too much all the time. Exactly, Shayla. Yes, Leo. I'm telling you. So he finally got on. I still like their relationship. I just thought they have a few little control issues, both of them. He needs to come out the box. She needs to calm down with her little snappy edge. You know, sometimes they say we got that sister girl edge that makes black men run to white women. That would be her. You know what I'm saying? But she's also a boss. She's an engineer. She got her own beautiful car, her own house. She's kind of like Chris over here, very successful. So they can come off as a little arrogant or a little bit, you know. You got to take them down a notch to still know that you're the man. If he doesn't do that, if he doesn't establish that, he's definitely going to have a problem with her. And he did do that. So now they're finding some kind of balance. They're still working through those little perks right up till decision day. You still don't know what's going to happen, because she was getting very frustrated that he is so sensitive and he doesn't want to do things out of the box. And one more thing on Brianna and Vincent. Vincent very much wants kids. He wants at least 3 kids ASAP. You know? Now, Leo crazy. Okay, so Shayla agrees. Yes, he's too much. Right, right, right. Thank you for the thumbs up, Shayla. Thank you, thank you. One last thing on Vincent and Vincent and Brianna, though. He wants kids right away. He didn't know that Brianna didn't want kids. He didn't know that she had this fear of kids. He didn't know. So that became an issue between the two of them. Come to find out in later episodes, you know, they do every week. So more weeks that went by, he found out is because she's scared that she won't be able to hold the baby for medical reasons that she has going on, which he knew nothing about because they're all still kind of new. They're getting to know each other. So she has a fear. It's not that the doctor says she can't have no kids. She just has an internal fear because of the internal medical issues that she's had for a very long time. Whereas he is just like, I can't marry somebody that's not going to have kids and whoop-de whoop-de-whoop. Well, you got to find some compassion and figure out how to get her past the fear together. Together. So that was the things that were their issues. You know what I mean? Yeah, right. Exactly, Jessica. Me too. If he's a really sweet guy, he's just a little sensitive. He wants kids, and she felt like sometimes like he felt like her one of his main things about her she's controlling is he works a lot at night, so he comes home, he wants to go to sleep, but he wants to sleep late in the daytime. She can't stand that. She's an engineer. She's up and out of that house by 5:30 in the morning. So for him to still be in the bed at 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock, she looks at it as lazy. He looks at it as she's trying to control him. So they have that control thing that they just have to work out. And they got time up until last night's decision day. So, those are all the couples and those are all the issues with the couples. Now, like I said, let me double back to Chris and Paige. Okay. They said, right, right. Right, Leo. There, if you think about all the other couples and the issues that I said that they had going on, theirs is not so bad. And as far as these two, Jacob and Hailey, if they could have just got out their own way, that could have been a really nice couple. You know what I mean? They could really get along if they would just kind of relax. Both of them, I felt like they were too intense. And like I said with Chris, let me see. To me, because black men say they like spicy Latinas, right? Well, she definitely got that spice, honey. Now back to Chris. Now I told y'all a little bit about all the couples, okay? Now I want to double back to Chris and Paige. Chris and Paige, because they are the biggest controversy on the whole entire show. Everything you see on the internet, everything you see on Instagram, everything you see on TMZ, everything is about Chris and Paige because she kept taking him back through all the weeks of him walking out on her, all the weeks of him trying to fight the other cast members, all the weeks of him telling her he's not attracted to her, but yet blowing her back out every time he got a chance. So she kept falling back for it. She kept falling for it. I still want to be in love. I still want to be in love. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, she was playing up that whole church girl, spiritual girl that I wasn't buying it. I wasn't buying it because I'm sorry, the busted wide open twerk she did in season episode one or two was very telling. Okay, who can twerk like that but them girls who can twerk that are busting it wide open? So why are we pretending to be so spiritual? I don't buy her act. I like her. I think she's a good girl and I think she has a lot of potential to make a really good wife. But I think you also got to side eye her if you're married to her and keep an eye on her when she go out with her girlfriends. Same thing with his old dog behind. He's a straight up dog. And I think he did all the stuff he was doing just to get attention from social media. That's what I think about Chris. I think it was all an act to get attention to his Instagram or his YouTube page or wherever he's at. I think he was doing that on purpose. Why? According to their needs and interests. Right, right, right. He put Leo. that was just that was just episode 2 where they showed Paige her. They showed her with the girls. This is before she really knew him that much. They showed her with the girls and they were out and she was twerking and doing all this stuff that doesn't to me represent the image she gave from then on out. That was the only time she did that. But I never forgot because I pay a lot of attention to all the people on the show. I didn't forget that. She never did it again. She was all about, I just want to be a housewife. I want to be a mother. I want to be the best wife I can be. I'll be submissive. We can have sex whenever he wants. I'm going to cook. I'm going to clean. I'm going to work. I'm going to bear his children. I'm going to go to church. We have to be God faith based. I get all of that. But am I the only one that remembers how well she did that? You got to watch that because that's a sign that she has a side in her that she's not showing on the show. And I do believe that. Now, I know people are going to argue that, but I believe it. When somebody shows you a part of them that you didn't know about, you better believe it. His stuff, the difference with him is everything is in the open. His assholeness is in the open. You know what I mean? Uh, you know what I mean? So, yes, Leo, yes. So Chris, like I said, there was one point where Chris came back after 3 or 4 times leaving Paige. Chris came back and was like, I just wanted to tell you that I'm not in love with you. I think I'm gonna go back to my ex-girlfriend. And then the next episode, he brought his ex-girlfriend onto the show to meet her. Why do I need to meet her? I'm your wife. She's your ex-girlfriend. You just told me you got her pregnant. Why does she need to be sitting on this couch in this show with me? I do not understand this. So the three of them are sitting up there like dumb, dumb, and dumber on the couch on Married at First Sight. The girlfriend, the ex-girlfriend looking at her, she looking at her, they looking at each other. I see you, we see each other. Like, I didn't get why they were like that at all. You know what I'm saying? There would have been no reason for me to see this ex take your ass on over there to the ex and your baby and have a good time. Deuces. You know what I mean? That's what she should have been saying. Right. So she starts telling him, the ex-girlfriend is just sitting there going, he's a lie. We've been together the whole time. I don't know. I mean, we're not together, but you're pregnant or whatever. This whole pregnant thing, it was just a mess. So when the girlfriend leaves, she's saying to him, I could even get past because of my religious beliefs, you know, that religious belief thing. I could even get past you having a child. We could, if I'm your wife, I will be there through the kid and everything. Okay? So she's still on board, which is why everybody was mad at Paige. She's still on board. When weeks in, probably week number 5, and she's still like, I don't care that you had a kid. God put us together. We are God's children, and He wants me and you to be in this marriage. I will help you with the baby. No problem. Let's just stay together. Okay. So he says, oh, thank you. I appreciate that. The next week, when we seen him, he came back to her again and said, oh, by the way, he's not staying at the house. So all of this time, she's staying in the home by herself where everybody else who are coupled up are staying together so they can get to know each other. He doesn't do that. That is disrespect in itself. He pops in when he just wants to tell her more negative stuff. So after being gone for 5 or 6 days, he comes back. The next episode, after her saying, I don't care about the kid, we'll do the baby together, we'll raise them, blah, blah, blah. He comes back and says, my ex-girlfriend doesn't have a car, so I bought her a Mercedes Benz. So he kept doing stuff to hurt her. He kept doing stuff to make her look bad and look stupid and look submissive on TV. And she kept going with it. So that's why I think that they both were just doing what they can to get attention, because ain't nobody this desperate for marriage or love or anything else that's going to keep having this. First, he can tell you ugly. Then he can tell you fat. Then he can tell you too dark. Then he can tell you he's not going to stay in the house with you like everybody else is doing. Then he can tell you he got a girlfriend, ex-girlfriend that he loves. Then he tells her, and by the way, she's pregnant. Then he comes back another week and said, I bought her a brand new 2021 Mercedes Benz. You not even rocking a Mercedes Benz and you're his wife. It's crazy. Right, Leo. Right. Who stays through that kind of mess but somebody with the same damn sickness like him? Okay? But she stuck through it all. She started to get annoyed and saying there's too much going on with him. Maybe I need to get out of this thing. But anytime he wanted to come around, she was letting him come around. So to me, if you should have got out as soon as he said you too fat and you ugly, silly. Okay? Because he calling you silly. That's what he doing. If y'all know silly, you know color purple, you know what I'm talking about. He basically saying that you are silly. You are not his type. Okay? Not silly. Okay. So right, right. Right. So she took all the shenanigans. She took all the shenanigans. All right. She still was still there. They weren't living together, but she was still there. He would still come. He'd do his little pop-ups about how much he loved her. Then he gone again. So she didn't really even get a chance to know anything about him other than that he's a major asshole. Because they're not living in the same house like the rest of them. They're all going through their drama, but in the same house so you can grow together. Okay? So that's all the couples. That takes y'all right up to decision day, which was last night. Decision day. Last night, season 12. Okay. So now on decision day, even when you think the couple that you think is going to stay together, sometimes they don't. Sometimes the ones that you think are going to go separate, they stay together. We never really know because truth be told, they're not allowed to tell each other their decision until decision day. Okay? So right, Shay. Right, Shayla. Say that. Right. Delataz, okay? So now we're on decision day. This can go anyway. They are all nervous because none of them know what the other one is going to say. Because one could say, yes, I want to be married, and the other one could say, I want out. So the first couple that came out and was on the couch with the professionals, ready to tell their decision was Virginia and Eric. Which you remember, Virginia is the one right here, bent way down, her, and then Eric is her husband right here. So that's the one with the age difference and the partying difference, and her wanting to be around her friends. They are the first ones on the couch. They fought and argued a lot, but they also came together and played a lot, not just sexually. They went out, they had a lot of fun. So you can see they had chemistry, you can see they had love, but they have a big negative part going on in their marriage, which could still end up in not staying together. Because Eric was dead set on, if you're going to be around these guys and sleeping on their couch overnight because you're drunk because they're your friends, then I don't want no parts of it. He said that the whole time. And the whole time she was saying, well, I'm not getting rid of my friends. So I didn't know what they were going to say when they got on that couch. I didn't know at all. Yes, she wants to turn up. Right. So, you know, I'm like, oh my God, what are they going to say? So they come on the couch, the professionals are talking to them. So now I'm telling y'all what the decisions are, and then we'll be done. So they come on the couch, Eric Eric and Virginia, and then finally one of the after they talk about all the problems they had, then finally one of the professionals says, okay, Virginia, do you want to stay in this marriage? Because they ask you one at a time, because it's not a group decision. Everybody has to give their individual response. You don't know what the other person is going to say. So they asked Virginia, do you want to stay in this marriage? And so Virginia started talking about the things that bother her and not blah, blah, blah. And so then she said, and it's like, boo, 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 drum roll. She said, but I don't want to give up on it. He's a good man. I want to stay in this marriage. That was the young one. That's Virginia. And they was like, oh, yay. Everybody celebrated that. But plot twist, we got to see if he wants it, because he's the one who had the biggest problem with her party life and the guys in her life. So then they flashed it over to Eric, and they said, Eric, do you want to stay in this marriage? You know? So like I said, if you didn't see Decision Day, anybody watching the playback, these are spoilers. Please watch it and then come back. If you didn't never seen the show and you don't care and you just want to finish knowing what happened, then this is the place for you. Okay. Um, right. So let me make sure. Let me refresh my comments. Hold on, y'all. So they turned to him and they said, You had the biggest problem as far as the lifestyle that she has. You've been trying to instill in her that she has to act like a wife. I don't know how far y'all got with that or what your thoughts are, but do you want to stay in this marriage, Eric? So all of a sudden, he digs into his pocket, he gets on his knee, and he pulls out a little toy ring and says, "I want to stay in this marriage." And um, he said, wait, I forgot. Hold on one second. Oh, Virginia. He said, "I want to stay in this marriage, Virginia. Will you marry me?" So he got on his own knee, even though they were already married. He got on his knee again and pulled out a toy ring and said, "Yes, I want to stay married." So, woo, celebrate. Those two stayed together. Woo, 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 woo. Okay, so that's couple one. Okay, they stayed together. So that was really good. So they're gonna work on their issues later. Okay, couple number two. Let's go over here to Hailey and Jacob. Those are the ones that I said he's very flat, not much personality, but a really good guy. Got a good job. You know what I mean? He wants to settle down. They're both around the same age, not too much age difference. They just couldn't stop arguing because they cannot get out of their own way. He's like a retro guy. He likes to do things flashing back to the 80s. She's a more modern girl. She didn't like that about him. She didn't like his flatness. She felt like he didn't want to have fun. He felt like she didn't like him. She's not intimate, and she said that she didn't like him in episode one. So why put in the work? But they stayed for all the episodes anyways, hoping to find a connection before the end of it all. And mind you, for weeks and weeks, probably 6, 7 weeks, they hadn't even slept together. I believe they, even through all of that, I believe it was like episode 7 that they finally had sex, thinking that that's going to bring them together. But still, they still argued and everything. So we never know what's going to happen on decision day, right? Right, Shayla. Right. Exactly. You never know what they're going to say. That's the fun thing about it. Yeah, so they stayed together. Couple number one stayed together. Now I'm on these two right here. So they had been pretty much arguing the whole time. Like I said, they finally had sex because they were getting a little bit better, but then they got right back to arguing. But it's not like it's not something that they couldn't turn around. They just have to be able to put the work in. You know what I mean? You got to be able to put the work in. That's the bottom line. Hey, Rochelle, thank you for coming in. Okay, so the professionals talked to them both right there on the couch. You know, I don't need to go into verbatim what they were saying, but they talked to them on the couch. Then they turned to then they turned to her first. So they turned to Hailey first. They turned to Hailey first, and they said, "Hailey, do you want to stay in this marriage?" Because this is their opportunity to let them know if they do or if they don't, and that each other doesn't know each other's answer. So Hailey got kind of quiet, and Hailey was sitting there, and she was like, it was like almost like a drum roll moment. And she was sitting there, and she was like, no, we just can't communicate. I can't seem to get through to him. We just can't seem to get on the same page. So basically, she said she does not want to stay in the marriage. I was rooting for them. I was hoping they would have put in more work because I felt like through all the episodes and all the fighting that they did, that they weren't getting out of each other's way to let the walls down to actually get to know each other. They were so much in their own way. This is what the way I like it. This is the way I like it, and I'm not changing for nobody, which is ended up being basically the problem for them the whole time. And so she said no. So now he has to say whatever he was thinking, regardless. So they were sitting there and they said, Eric, well, we see what Hailey already said. Did you want to stay in this marriage? And he said, like he had been saying all episodes, he said, no, I do not want to stay in the marriage. She said, probably episode number 2, that she does not like me. She's not attracted to me. So I don't think I had a fair shot anyway. He never did let that go when she said it. She said that a long time ago. He always had that hovering in the back of his mind. Instead of saying what he should have did was say, I'm going to show her that I'm the guy. I'm going to show her I can have fun. I'm going to let those walls down. I'm going to stop being flat like this and start talking like this. Like he's so flat. Introvert. He needed to do something to show her that he can have fun, but he was so stuck in his head that she doesn't want him, that they were in their own way. So that couple did not work. Womp womp. Thank you. Right. So it's just too bad because I was rooting for them, but nope, didn't work. Didn't work. All right. So now we're gonna go to Clara and Ryan decision day. Okay. We're gonna go to Clara and Ryan. Right. He's flat as a daggone pancake. Huh? How are you? A clear eye. What do you call that? Clear eye for the. Remember that commercial with the guy on the chalkboard? Clear eye for the something, but he was very monotone, and the class was sleeping like this. That's him. If he could have came out of that, we might have been okay. All right. So the next couple we're gonna talk about, Clara and Ryan. Y'all remember I just gave y'all the 411 on her and him? The one he didn't want to have sex, she did. That was a big thing. They were okay as a couple, but that seemed to be a thing. He did not have sex with her the whole entire season, except for a little bit of foreplay that she did to him, not him doing to her. But she felt he didn't want her. She felt unattractive. She felt like he didn't touch her the whole time, that no matter how much they get along, that's a problem. So now we're on decision day for Clara and Ryan. Okay. So now they said to Clara, they asked her first, I believe. They said, Clara, knowing everything that you know, hold on, y'all, let me get my water. They said, knowing everything you know about Ryan, let us know, do you want to stay in this marriage? And Clara, it took a little while, and Clara was like, I know that, I just keep feeling like he'll eventually come around, but I think that we just have such a good marriage. I don't want to give that up. I want us to go the long haul. So yes, I want to stay in this marriage. So Clara said yes, her. She said yes, which is good. That's good. She wants to fight for the marriage, is what she was saying. Right? Real crazy. So then they were like, "Oh, yay!" Clara said yes. Now they turn to the one with the problem. He the one with the bigger problem. This one, Ryan, right here. He's the one who doesn't want to have intimacy. He wasn't sure if he's really attracted to her. He's got all these things going on. So they turned it to him, and they said, do you want to stay married to Clara? Now, I didn't know what he was going to say. I root for all couples. I root for love all the time. Okay. He said, boom, 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 boom. He said, although this has been hard for me, I wouldn't want to have went through this experience with anybody else. A lot of people cannot stick around for the Ryan that I am. The things that I do. I took that to mean he's done this with other women. It's a test. He wants to see if they could get past the physical and really be in it from the heart. And apparently, I think that has not worked in his life. And I think that's what he was doing. So he said, she has been so patient. She has not given up on us. I was really surprised about that. I didn't expect that. You know what I mean? So, he said, oh, hold on. So he said, and because of that, I know that I want to go the distance in this marriage with Clara. Yes, I want to stay married to her. Now we can get things going. We made it. We here. Woo! So they stayed together. So there's two couples that stayed together so far that I told y'all about, and one that did not. So they stayed together. Whoop, whoop, whoop. We all rooting for love. Okay. Now, the fourth couple I want to talk about is right here. Right here. Yeah, they stay together, Leo. So now we are going to talk about Clara, not Clara and Ryan. We already talked about Clara and Ryan. Brianna, right here, and Vincent, right here. The one with they had a great relationship, but they had the control issue that he didn't like. They had the children issue, and she had the him not wanting to come out the box type of issue. So they had their issues, but other than the issues, they were always holding hands. They were romantic. They were taking each other out. They were a good couple, but you also don't know what each other is going to say, because the whole kid thing is a real thing for him. The whole control thing is a real thing for him. Same with her. She wants somebody that's adventurous and who doesn't mind if she doesn't want to have kids. So we never know what they were going to say. So they go to her and they say, Brianna, we know all the things that's bothering you about Vincent. We know that you don't like that he's so sensitive. You don't like that he is not as adventurous as you want, but you guys had a great relationship. What do you want to do? Do you want to stay in the marriage? And she was like, I can't picture being with anybody else. I love him. We will get through whatever we got to get through together. Yes, I want to stay in the marriage. So Brianna said yes. Woo! Whoop, whoop. Does it sound the please? So Brianna said yes, but that doesn't mean that Vincent's going to say yes. Okay? Okay. Now he can give her the right, Leo. Right. He definitely, now Clara can get it the way she wanted, right? So Brianna is all in. Brianna says yes, she wants to stay in the marriage, boom. So they turn to Chris, and then, they turn to Vincent and say, Vincent, you were the one that would really, really, really don't like that she's controlling. You don't like there's a possibility she might be scared of having kids. Vincent, we need to know now, do you want to stay in the marriage? So then he's looking like, and it goes to commercial. Then they come back. It comes back from commercial and they're going, Vincent, we need you to answer now. Do you want to stay in the marriage? He stands up. Well, he kneels down to the floor, goes under the couch, you guys, pulls out a box. He opens it and there is a cheesecake in there because Brianna's biggest favorite, most favorite food dessert in the world is cheesecake. And inside of the box, when he opened it on the cheesecake, is "Will you marry me?" Woo! It was the cutest thing ever. And she got her cheesecake. They drank wine. They celebrated. Those two said they're going to get through everything, all the issues that they have. They're going to work on it now that the cameras won't be there. They're going to be living together and they can move forward like a real married couple. I was rooting for them. I'm hoping next thing up is a baby. Some of my past married to at first sight couples got 2 and 3 kids right now. So yes, for Brianna and Vincent, they are staying married. So that is 3 of the couples. Hailey and Jacob didn't make it. Virginia and Eric stayed married. Vincent and Brianna stayed married. And Clara and Ryan stayed married. Yes, they're a cute couple. Exactly. Now, the last couple, which is Paige and the a-hole Chris. These two right here, the 2 game players. Now, my thinking is this. He hasn't been on the show in a long time because he wasn't staying in the house with her anyways. I don't think that he should have been allowed to come to the reunion, to the decision day. I just wanted him to be gone and just let her come on and say how her life was going because they weren't together. They had already said they weren't getting married, so I didn't even understand why he was at decision day. I understand why she's there, but I didn't understand why he was there. So anyways, she comes on and she's by herself. She's there. She's talking about how they have not been together. She hasn't seen him. She really hated that it didn't work out, but she knows for her own mental well-being that is for the best. All of a sudden, Chris comes walking in the back door because everybody knows Chris does whatever he wants to do. She's looking like, and everybody's looking like, what in the world? So he comes in there, sits down on the couch and says, hi, everybody, like he's not been the biggest asshole throughout the show. He came in the door like everybody likes him. Even she was looking at him like, he said, I had to come on here because I wanted to tell you how I've done you so wrong. I've done you so dirty this whole time. I'm so very sorry. And he went on and on and on about with his apology, right? So he went on and on and on about with the apology, which is okay. You want to come on here, put on another show, give her an apology. That's fine. You can do that. So he's giving her the apology that she's always wanted, apparently. She's getting all watered up about it. I'm thinking in my mind, girl, don't fall for the shenanigans. Anything that he says, let's not be sucked into this matrix of a game that this guy likes to play. You know what I mean? So he's giving the apology and everything, and she's going for it. She's like, okay. And she starts talking, and they're asking her, well, what do you think about what he said? And she said, well, God, I know God had a plan for us. She started with that God. Okay. God had a plan for us. Right. Eye roll. Come on. So she's like, well, God, I know God had a plan for us. And da da da. And so he's saying, he said, I want to, what did he say? He was like, oh, I know what it was. So then they started talking about, hold on, hold on. Okay, sorry, y'all. So they're talking about it. They're asking her, what did she feel about it? You know what I mean? Let me see. Right, right, Rochelle. Please send them down the river. Hey, AKA James, how are you? Leo, whatever, Leo, whatever. So hold on. So then he starts telling her all this stuff, and she's like, oh, she felt like God wanted them to go ahead and fight for the marriage and stuff like that. But it's just so much, it's overwhelming. And he was like, I think that we should fight for the marriage or something. He said. So the Spanish counselor that's there, who's been there the whole time, there's three matchmakers. So the Hispanic matchmaker said, I feel like you're playing games with her and you're playing games with us. He said, I'm not playing games, but I feel like we don't want to answer. Neither one of us want to answer because we don't know. So she got furious with that. She said, that's bullshit. You're playing games. You're playing games with her. You're playing games with us now, and I don't like it. So the Spanish matchmaker was not having it. So the other one was like, just calm down. Let's all just talk this thing through. Basically, this is another game that this guy is playing. You're going to get on here and say that y'all are not going to answer the question. So Chris gets mad and says, well, I don't give a fuck what you guys want. I said, we not ready to answer. Mind you, this is the guy who ain't even been around. How are you coming on here after we ain't seen you for weeks talking about you not going to answer the question? So Chris jumps up, runs out of the building again. And of course, she gets up, Paige gets up and runs behind him trying to catch him. Where this fool at? Where this fool at? So, okay, so Paige, out of all people, why are you the one running behind him outside? Let production go. You ain't used to him leaving your ass sitting there all the time. You've been by yourself all season. Why are you going behind him with his shenanigans? So she runs outside with him. Where is he at? He's in the car, bawling, y'all. Exactly. Exactly, Shala. Girl, you remember that old school cry? That's what he was doing in the car. She was in the car like this. What's wrong? He said, I feel like everybody hates me. I feel like everybody hates me. You know what I'm saying? This is overwhelming. No, nobody hates you. Nobody cares about you because you have not been here. So he makes a whole spectacle. They're outside. So again, Chris does something to make the show about him, which is what I've been saying. I feel like he knows what he's doing. I feel like he plays games because he wants attention and wants his 10 minutes of fame. Because truthfully, now that the season's over, nobody cares what Chris is doing, to be quite honest. You know what I mean? So she's out there trying to console him and da 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 da, you know. Yeah, right. She has low self-esteem. That's what I said, Rochelle. She needs help. Crying is just another game. Give me a break. Exactly what I've been saying. And she should not have been the one getting up, going outside, seeing how he is, because he hasn't been on the show in weeks. Everybody's in their houses figuring out their marriage, getting to know each other, and she's in her home that they provide by herself all this time. But he shows up at the decision day so he can get more camera time. So she convinces him to go in the house. It's cold outside. She's walking without a jacket. She has on no sleeves because she's trying to be sexy. So she's walking and she's like, I'm cold. He said, you cold? And she said, yeah. Peep this, y'all. Just as how big of an asshole he is. He said, oh, okay. He didn't give her the jacket. Guess when he gave her the jacket? When she stepped into the building. Then he took his coat off before she went upstairs. When you cold outside, don't you need the jacket when you're outside? Girl, please get your self-esteem out the gutter. Matter of fact, go wide open on the dance floor because that's the real you. Okay, that's the real you. Okay, so she takes the jacket as if he did something. You would have had to give me that jacket outside. I threw that shit right on the floor. So they go upstairs. The professionals are there like aggravated, like this dude again, talking about they not sure, they can't answer right now, blah, blah, blah. So then the guy told him, he said, oh, the guy told him, one of the professionals said, yes, he is. Yes, he is. So one of the professionals said, okay, because now after all the drama, we got to get back to the show. So one of the professionals said, we cannot accept that. We're not going to answer today thing. You guys are going to have to answer today. So the professional said to him, Chris, do you want to stay in this marriage? We need to have an answer so we can end this season off. So he was thinking about it, and he was like, I think that I made a big mistake. I think she's the person for me. I need to be with her. Nobody's gonna stick with me the way she did. She never gives up. She's God based. She's faith based, and I think I would make a big mistake if I didn't stay with her. So I'm gonna stay in the marriage. I think all of that is because he knows he made a mistake and somebody else gonna get that girl. He was scared. He don't want her to be with nobody else, but he don't want her either. And I think if she says yes, she's crazy. So he says, yes, I want to stay in the marriage. So they turn to Paige. Now, Paige is really the one that needs to be figuring this thing out and don't be no dummy. Use a dummy. She kept being a dummy through the whole season. How much of a dummy can you be? You know what I mean? Right. He's a liar. Exactly, Rochelle. Exactly. So they said, Paige, they said, okay, you heard Chris. Chris said that he wants to stay in the marriage. He feels like you're the woman for him and that he thinks he's making a mistake if he doesn't be with you. And I would have said, although he said he's not attracted to you, you're not the color skin he want, you're not the size he want. I would have brought all of that up. Okay, the baby mama, the ex. Oh, you know what? Pause, 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 pause. I skipped a part on them too. The reason that he ran out, I backed that up, y'all. I almost forgot. Error. The reason that he ran out is not because he said we don't want to make our decision right now. No, 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 no. One of the professionals asked him, where are you at in the marriage? What do you want to do? How's the baby? That's what it was. They asked him, how was your baby? Because remember, the girl's supposed to be pregnant. And he said, Paige, I just wanted to tell you that she lost her baby. That's what I missed. Sorry, you guys. Back up. Pause. He said she lost a baby. He broke down. That's when he ran out crying because he said she had a miscarriage. So that's when Paige ran behind him, trying to console him. And then he was talking about the whole baby of it all. And that's what he was snot crying for. all of that. Truth be told, for some things that unfolded earlier in the season and stuff that I've seen on the internet, saying that his girl was never pregnant, it was all a plot. I don't know if I can feel sorry for him because I don't believe anything that comes out of his mouth. The baby thing could have just been something he did to get more attention on the show. But if it isn't, to ask God to forgive me, and I'm sorry if your woman had a miscarriage. Right, right. Yes, pause. Right. She needs to run, regardless of the miscarriage, regardless of any of that. That's why he was in the car crying, you guys. That's why she went out. So when they came back in and sat back down, and then the professional said, "We're so sorry that all of that happened. Hopefully you're in a good space, but we need to get your decision." Then he tried to pull the no, we cannot give a decision. We decided that we're not ready to say if we're going to be married or not, so we're going to forfeit that. And the judge and the professional said, "No, you can't do that. You got to answer it today." That's when he said, "She's been by his side all the time. She's never varied. She's never wavered, no matter what he did. And he wanted to stay in the marriage." That's what he said. Okay, so that's how that went. Right, a lot of drama. He's a lot of drama. He brought all the drama. Everybody else was just doing their regular, finding each other out. But him, he was next level. He was next level. So he said, "I want to stay in this marriage because through everything that I did, she still always remained the same person you see here today." So they got his answer. Then they turned to Paige. Bum, 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 bum. Because she the dummy. You know what I mean? So they got to find out what she's going to say. Right? So, oh, okay, Jessica, welcome back. I'm on decision day. I'm on the last couple. I told everybody already who stayed and who didn't. So now I'm saying if Chris and Paige have stayed together. Chris, after everything I just told everybody with all his drama right there on decision day, he decided there's nobody stuck with him through as much as she has, and that through it all, he wants to be with her. Mind you, this is the guy who hasn't been on the show because he hasn't been living with her at all. He pops up at the reunion. He doesn't even deserve that spotlight. You know what I mean? He working a reverse on her. Right, right. He playing games. Exactly. So he gives his answer, okay? He says he wants to stay. Mind you, this is all after all the snot crying in the car. We know he said that his ex-girlfriend lost the baby that she was supposed to be pregnant with during the season, which to me is questionable. But if she did lose her baby, we are sorry. All right, so he decides through all the games he played, because Paige has still been just kind and trying to figure things out, he wants to stay in it. Now it's up to Paige to say what she wants. So Paige was like, "This is so hard. I don't even know if I can answer. It's so hard." She started doing that. They are already tired because he done ran out. She ran out to go chase him. They're getting prolonged. The show needs to end. So she's putting her head down. She's crying, going, "Oh my God, because God doesn't want me to ever give up on a marriage." And she's saying all the stuff that she's been saying all along with the whole God and marriage, and she's supposed to be in a marriage. But then she said, "But for I put up with so much, my mental well-being won't let me stay in this marriage anymore." So he said yes, and she said, "No, I'm done. I'm just ready to move on with my life. My mental health has been tested here. I've almost had breakdowns. I can't do this no more because it's not healthy for me." Woo! Finally! Woo! I was the damn judges. I would have jumped in the professionals. I would have jumped up. I would have clapped. I would have said, "Thank you, Jesus." She said no. Because he said yes. So we all thought she was going to be like, yes. She said no. She's not going forth in a marriage with him. I don't know what'll happen later. We shall see. But for now, she has decided on decision day she doesn't want no parts of it. Thank God. Good for Paige. Exactly. Exactly, Rochelle. Exactly. She's smart. She said her mental well-being is telling her no way. It's too much from day one with this guy. So that is Married at First Sight decision day. I hope y'all enjoyed my commentary. You know? Thank you, Rochelle. It's your boy Leo, Shayla, Jessica, thank you guys for hanging in here with me the whole time. And the funny thing is, usually when I go live, I have a lot of people in my live, but I think they've seen the thumbnail and they don't know the show. So what's going to happen is people who know the show, they're going to hopefully watch the playback and they'll be able to see my opinion. My opinion is Chris is a douche and who wanted his 10 minutes of fame. Paige was a dummy. Thank God she came through in the clutch, and all the couples that are still together, thank you, Jesus. Okay. So then they showed, right before it went off, they showed all the couples sitting together, relaxing. They're all seeing each other since the decision at the same time. They hadn't seen each other up until that. And it was Paige by herself, not with Chris. So they're all outside and they're like, oh, hey, who stayed married and who didn't. So because they didn't know. So all the groups started saying who stayed together. So of course, Jacob and Hailey said they were one of the ones who didn't. You guys know I can't point it out. Um, Jacob and Hailey said we didn't stay together, and I think that's the only one in Clara and I mean in Chris and Paige who didn't stay together. Everybody else stayed together. So Paige was sitting there and she was saying that they didn't stay together, and they were like, "Oh, but we understand because he had a lot of issues, you know." And then, right. Thank you, Jessica. Thank you, Leo. So they're all talking. So Paige is telling them that she decided she's not going to do it, you know, and all the couples were saying that they stayed together or didn't. Then guess who walks in? Like somebody needs to see his face. We don't need to see you. You know what I mean? He came in again trying to hold on to his 5 minutes of fame, even when it's over and they're just talking out in the yard. Chris comes in. He apologizes to everybody in the group because he was through the season, through the episodes, he was fighting with a lot of people in the group. So he came in to apologize to everybody in the group and to say bye to everybody. So he went around the room and, told everybody sorry, whatever. And then it went off. Woo! That is it, you guys. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being here and hanging with me for my take on Married at First Sight, Decision Day, Season 12. And as you know, there is a Married at First Sight Unmatchables. This is the first time that they've ever done a show called Unmatchables. This is people that you can't match up. They can't get a relationship because of the things they do. So they're trying to change these people's attitude before they can audition for the actual show. So I'm watching the Unmatchables now as well. And then of course, there'll be another season of Married at First Sight for the next people. But right now, Unmatchables is kind of funny. You know what I mean? These people do dumb stuff. Like one of the girls on Unmatchable said she loves to eat, but she likes to eat when she's on the toilet with the computer, and she have her light in there, and she does everything on the toilet. She has an obsession with the toilet. Unmatchable. No matter how cute she is, she's unmatchable because she's doing dumb stuff. You know what I mean? So those are who the people they're working on now. You know what I mean? Thank you. Thank you, you guys. Thank you very much. And that is the end. And I will see y'all around in another live. I do lives all the time. I do trivia. I do game hunting. I do DIYs in my live. I do all kinds of stuff in my live. Today's topics. So thank you guys for hanging in. I'll see y'all in my lives. I'll see you in my uploads. I'm always uploading. So please stay connected with me. Thank you, thank you, thank you very much. Don't forget, I have the join button now. If you ever want to become family with me, and I have merchandise, all of that is in the links below. Check out my merchandise page, okay? And if you don't know, now you know. Bye, Rochelle. Bye, everybody. Thank you. Thank you to everybody that's watching the playback. Please leave me comments and let me know what you think. All righty. You guys, bye, bye, bye. Bye, bye, bye. Thank y'all. Bye.